Boys fans, what's going on? It's your boy Ruben. You know what it is, new week, new video. And it was a rough week of football for me because, you guys know I'm not only a Cowboys fan, I'm a Jags fan. And both teams took some L's that I just felt like were inexplicable. They should not have taken those L's. They lost to subpar teams. In the case of the Cowboys, I feel like it was a little more alarming than in the case of the Jaguars. But this video is specifically about the Cowboys, and I'm going to get into why it was alarming. The reason it was alarming, remember to like, subscribe, and share it, by the way, guys. The reason it was alarming is we got bullied by this team. Bullied, right? They ran all up and through us, and it showed all of our weaknesses that we thought we were going to get better. It showed up in this game. Now, the good news is it's early in the season. Hopefully, this was one of those games that kind of like shows you where you are, gut checks you early, and gets everybody recalibrated in the way that they need to be, because we were like really high on our britches, but I thought deservedly so. But a few things: we were down several offensive linemen, all of our best linemen. We were out Trayvon Diggs. That just happened this week. So I think energy-wise, and then you're coming to play a bad team that is the Arizona Cardinals that might actually be a little bit better than we think, but they're still a bad team for the most part. And I think we just kind of set up ourselves up for a letdown. Now, these were the kind of mentally tough issues that I thought we would be over by now, but it's also something I've always pointed out when it comes to Mike McCarthy. The only reason I haven't full on said, man, we're going to the Super Bowl, and amongst my friends, I'm always like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. But the only reason I haven't gotten on here and really, hey, book it, we're going to the Super Bowl, is because of Mike McCarthy. I do like the fact that we have converted more to a running team and played more to the defense, but I think the loss of Trayvon Diggs means the offense has to pick it up a little bit, because I don't feel we're going to be as special on defense as we could have been. The loss of Trayvon Diggs is huge, and it really showed in this game. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say, well, you got ran through. What does Trayvon Diggs have to do with that? He doesn't have anything to do with that specifically. Like the physical battle up front, we have to do better. I don't know what, I'm alarmed when you consider that we drafted Mozzie Smith specifically for this. But this is on Micah Parsons too. I didn't feel like he did a good job setting the edge, both ends. I didn't feel like they did a good job setting the edge. And then the defensive tackles weren't keeping linemen off the second level, so it was hard for Vander Esch to hunt, right, the way he does. We were getting blown off the ball. Combine that with the fact that you also had a mobile quarterback that throws things, out of a loop for you. It's hard to scheme. It's hard to go like, okay, this is what they're doing, let's adjust to it, because then you do everything perfect, and then Josh Dobbs, scrambles around, buys extra time, and finds the open guy. And with quarterbacks like that, this is where you miss Trayvon Diggs, because the kind of corners we have, and I think the jury's still out on Deron Bland, but neither are quite the athlete Trayvon Diggs was. And what that means is they have to be more fundamentally sound in what they're doing and what their assignments are. The great thing about Trayvon Diggs, and I already know all the jokes are coming, is he was able to gamble so much, and that's why he was able to get his picks. But what made him so solid was, and yes, I know he gave up yards, but he also knocked a lot of balls away and picked it off because he was able to recover a lot too. So on these plays that get elongated or whatever, if he clues in a certain direction, he had the kind of speed to kind of track down the receiver and not allow the receivers to hit their head on the goalpost. We allowed like big time plays in the passing game that I don't think really happens with Trayvon Diggs is in the game and Stephon Gilmore's playing on the other side or whatnot. Stephon Gilmore is still a really good corner, But again, if they got a quarterback that's going to buy time, they're not the kind of guys that, the kind of shifty, fast corners that are going to be able to hold up in coverage for that long. Where in the same fashion that maybe a Trayvon Diggs can. They just don't have the kind of athleticism. But I think it's something that can be fixed in terms of schematics. I don't think we're going to often find ourselves playing a kind of we got down and then they were able to kind of dictate the game to us. I don't think that's going to happen often. The most alarming thing, I'm not super worried about the defense. I do wish that we would be able to stop the run better. The most alarming thing was, while I am happy we are more run oriented, is the passing offense. So Kellen Moore, for all his faults, we were still of a high scoring, high flying offense. My beef with Kellen Moore and why he ultimately got fired was he wasn't good situationally. We never had like the right go-to play as third and long or this situation or that situation. He didn't do, and we got predictable, right, in key situations. Like in general, managing the game, he was a very good offensive coordinator. Look at the Chargers; they're flying all up and down the field. But it's just in key situations he didn't call the right plays or scheme up the right things. Now we're experiencing that a little bit with Mike McCarthy. I feel like his offensive play calling lacks imagination, right? Our red zone offense is not good at all. Dak hasn't found anybody that he trusts. It looks like he trusts Brandon Cooks, but Brandon Cooks is not the interior guy that you want to be throwing the ball to. He's really little. That's not his forte. He's never been a possession receiver. I think he's a very good receiver, but it's just, again, not what he does. He doesn't have Dalton Schultz. He doesn't have Jason Witten or even a Dez Bryant out there. I know that we have CeeDee Lamb, and I think CeeDee Lamb's the shit. But I've said this, like, it never quite feels like they have the same synergy that he had with like an Amari Cooper or the other guys that I named, right? It looks like he just, he's open, let me throw it to him. Like, he does a good job of getting open. But it doesn't look, they don't seem to, how Patrick Mahomes just kind of knows where Travis Kelce's going to be and he can deliver a ball before it even, turns around or anything like that. They don't seem to have that kind of chemistry to me. And Dak just doesn't have a guy that he looks like he trusts. And ultimately, you need one specifically in the end zone. And they're not getting open ultimately. It's a problem. It's very problematic. And I don't know what we're going to do about it because we have to be more efficient in the red zone. Now, I think having offensive linemen helps because I think ultimately, like, there's nothing wrong with them knowing that you're going to run the ball and then running it and punching it in. And I think on a few of those, Tony Pollard probably punches it in. But he was having guys sitting in his lap. They knew it was coming, and then our backup offensive lineman couldn't hold up. So with that being said, we're playing the Patriots this week. We are favored to beat the Patriots, and I expect us to beat the Patriots. But where it scares me is if we're in a situation where we have to throw, what does the offense look like? Because do you guys know? Because through the first 3 games, it was basically run, and the occasional throw to CeeDee Lamb. And then, we're just walking off the field and then the defense is doing their thing and even scoring. And it was very vanilla. But if we are in a position where we have to throw, the Patriots are a pretty good defense. What does our offense look like? Right? That when we have to dial up and we have to make plays and some of those key situations that we complain about with Kellen Moore, what is Mike McCarthy dialing up? And so that's why I'm a little bit nervous because I think the offense has to pick it up, and this is a good defense they're going to be playing that's coached by Bill Belichick. And we're facing a team that's probably going to try to run it down our throats. They just saw the tape of last week, and that's how they want to play. So they're coming into Dallas. The only good news, in my opinion, with this game and why I think they should win this game, because at least we're coming into this game angry and looking to make a statement. That's what I expect to see. But you never know. It is the Cowboys. I love this team, but nobody reads their own press clippings more than them. And I wish whenever Mike McCarthy departs from here, I definitely hope we end up with a coach that is really about mental toughness, because I think we need it as a team. I think we have all the talent in the world. I really just think coaching is the only thing holding us back. But we'll see if they overcome it. I think Michael Parsons has mental toughness, and I think hopefully the team follows suit. All right. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and can't wait. Go Cowboys.